everyone! So today I'm going to be filming a back-to-school drugstore makeup tutorial. Unfortunately, it is that time of year again. I know a lot of you hate going to school. I was the kind of weirdo who loved it, but that's just me. I'm a little strange. So I wanted to do a tutorial for you guys with all drugstore makeup because I know a lot of you either can't get your hands on, can't find, or can't afford the higher end palettes and foundations and things like that. And you know what? That's perfectly normal. In high school, I couldn't either. I'm going to get started. Everything I'm using can either be found at Target, Walmart, or Ulta. So I'm going to get started. First, I have two foundation choices for you guys, and it depends on what type of skin you have. If you have really good skin, if you're one of those kids who is lucky and blessed to have no acne breakouts, good for you. I would recommend using the Maybelline Dream Fresh BB cream because it has minimal coverage, but it provides sunscreen and a little bit of moisture and just kind of evens everything out a little bit. So I would go with this. If you're like me and you had acne in school and it unfortunately still exists into your mid-20s, which is just a cruel, cruel joke, I would suggest going with the Rimmel Stay Matte Foundation. I use True Ivory because I'm really pale, but they have about like 6 shades. This is extremely full coverage. Same as the BB cream, it can be applied with fingertips or a brush. I'll probably be using my fingertips, and this really, really helps cover up acne. So I'm going to start with this. This runs about $4, so it's so only use a tiny, tiny bit of this. You only need about a pea-sized amount. As I'm going to be giving you guys a basic rundown of the prices of the products I'm using. That way, if you're on a budget, you can look at what you already have in your stash, or you can plan to pick up a few new products, and that way you have an idea of how much they cost. So the Rimmel foundation that I'm using now costs about $4 to $5, and the BB cream is around $7 to $8. Alright, I have that pretty well blended in. I'm going to take a tissue and wipe off my lips since I got some foundation on them. I am not a genius with applying foundation with my fingertips. I do prefer a brush, but I wanted to show you guys how to do this if you have limited brushes. Alright, next up for my under eye circles. Again, this is a part you can skip if you don't have bad under eye circles. I'm using Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Under Eye Concealer. This runs, I want to say, about $8. And I'm just dotting that under my eyes. And I'm going to blend that in. Alright, now that I have those all covered, what I'm going to do is go in any places where I have some bad acne popping up. Mine is mostly around my chin because it's hormonal. I am going to grab my NYX HD concealer. I use the shade Light. And again, this runs for about $6. I'm just going to very lightly just dab that on the places where it is worst. Keep in mind, the more concealer that you pack on your acne, the more visible it's going to be. It's really better to err on the side of less. And I know that sounds counterproductive, but most people, when they get up close to you, would rather see a little bit of acne than to see caked on heavy concealer. Trust me, they're gonna notice the concealer more. Next up, now that my foundation's had some time to set, I'm going to go in with my NYC Smooth Skin Bronzer. This stuff is amazing. It only runs about $3 and it works on my crazy super pale skin. Just going to lightly contour. Keep in mind, most schools have fluorescent lights and they are going to wash your skin out, but you're also going to be going outside a lot and things like that. So you want to contour, but you want to do it lightly. I'm going to grab my Dream Bouncy blush in Fresh Pink. This is about $7 or $8. Almost everything I'm using is in between the $3 to $10 range, so it really is affordable. I'm just going to apply this with 2 fingertips. I'm just patting. I'm just going to pat that along my cheekbones. I love this color because it's very, very pretty and soft, and it blends in beautifully and it looks very, very, very natural. And that's the basic face makeup done. Very simple, very quick. I know I hated getting up early in the morning. I only did it when I absolutely had to. So I'm trying to make this as quick and easy for you guys as humanly possible. Up next, I'm going to do my eyebrows. Now, I usually do use a high-end product for my eyebrows. And that's because, as you guys can see, my eyebrows are basically non-existent. However, the only thing I've found that is as close to the high-end product I use, which by the way is the Anastasia Dip Brow in Blonde, is the NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder. This has a wax and it has 2 powders, a darker and a lighter. I use the taupe / ash. This is so much better than using eyebrow pencils. So I'm going to brush up my eyebrows real quick. And then I'm going to go in and I'm using the lighter shade. Alright, and there are both eyebrows done. Next, I'm going to be moving on to doing my eyes. You guys know I'm kind of an addict when it comes to high-end palettes, but when I'm going for drugstore eyeshadows, one of my favorites, oddly enough, is actually one of the cheapest you can get. It's the Wet n Wild Trios. This one is in Walking on Eggshells, and it's a very pretty neutral shade. They do have a ton of other palettes if you're not into neutral, and each one of these palettes runs right around $2 or $3. So they're incredibly, incredibly affordable. But I'm going to show you guys how to do this look using one brush. This is my Real Techniques base shadow brush. It's very fluffy and it also has a slightly pointed tip. So this one can actually be used for your entire eye look. So I'm actually going to follow the eyelid crease and brow bone guide they have here because that's where I would use those specific colors anyway. I'm going to start by taking a slightly shimmery color and just blending it all over my eyelid. I'm doing both eyes at the same time so I don't have to wipe off my brush. Right, next I'm going to take the crease color and I'm just lightly dipping my brush into this and blowing it off because it is slightly dark. I'm just going to start right in that outer corner Just blend it down and up, down and up. That's pretty much it. It's very, very quick. This gives a little bit of definition to your eye without looking incredibly heavy. Oh, and if it comes down below the corner of your eye at all, just take your finger and go up lightly, and that will help even it out. So I'm going to wipe off that brush on a tissue real quick. And I'm just going to take the brow bone shade and just use the very tip of my brush on that brow bone shade. Just put it right below my eyebrow on the other side. And then I'm going to pop it just in the inner corner of my eye. And that is it. So I'm going to move on to eyeliner next. I'm just using the L'Oreal Silkaseam eyeliner in black. And for neutral looks, I just like lining my tight line and leaving everything else alone. Alright, as you guys can see, it gives you just the illusion of a thicker lash line without it looking like you're wearing eyeliner. So I'm going to curl my eyelashes real quick. Now mind you, I don't use a super expensive eyelash curler. This is a Revlon one. I've had it for probably 5 or 6 years. So you don't need a super fancy one. If you don't have one, ask your mom if you can borrow hers. Alright, once they're curled, I'm using my favorite. This is the Falsies Volume Express Mascara. This does not flake, it does not run, it does not budge, and it's not waterproof, so it's actually pretty easy to get off at the end of the day as well. Alright, our eyes are all finished. Up last is the lips, and I like keeping it simple on the lips. And this is a color that looks beautiful on a variety of skin tones and lip colors. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Maple Blondie. It's very, very moisturizing. So I like to apply it. And then I take my finger and I just smooth it out. And here's the final look. As you guys can see, it's very fresh, very natural, and very, very appropriate for school. This is not a look that's going to get you in trouble. It's not a look that is going to make your parents freak out and make you go wash your face before you walk out the door. It's a look that's just going to enhance how pretty you already are. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and if you have any questions, comments, or just want to say hi, go ahead and do so in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. You can also keep up with me on JoannaBrooks.net and on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. I'm pretty much everywhere, and all the links for those are down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!